Hey, so a few days ago, I watched on the Theories of Everything channel on YouTube. I watched a video where the interviewer was talking with some physicist, and he said that he's getting every day plenty of people approach him with new theory about fundamental physics, and he said, "Yeah, maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong, but until they prove themselves, I can't spare the time to look at this, to consider." And actually, he grilled him a bit. I think the name of the interview is Kurt, and he eventually confessed that he actually, even people that are kind of like famous and have done stuff, he still doesn't care. And I am thinking like, okay, forget about him, forget about that show, but where am I? Like, I am like offering this theory, and there's like one in a, I would, maybe I'm too cynical, but I would believe that 1 in 100 people have thought of a theory that is of that is questioning the fundamental stuff about reality, and they think that they know it all. And so why should you bother with my theory? What's special about it? So, well, first, I'd like to make it clear that this theory, like that specific scientist, he was talking about theories in physics, about theories about fundamental physics. This theory isn't about fundamental physics. This theory doesn't even have a lot of opinion about what fundamental physics is, because specifically because it actually says that it probably doesn't exist, in the sense of there's not one fundamental physics. Fundamental physics is what is true to the is the different there's a different version for each experiential agent. So it doesn't really care. There are many models, but none of them will be the one that is correct. And even if there was one that is like brilliant in every sense, it's still just, if in the video game analogy metaphor, it just still just describes what happens in the game world. It doesn't describe what happens in the machine that generates the game world. Simply because that's not physics, that's metaphysics. And the metaphysics of everyone who's dealing with physics is, at the end of the day, physicalism. I mean, even panpsychism, eventually, I've done a video about that, eventually breaks down to a variant of physicalism. So why should you care about this theory? What makes it special? So you could say, yeah, metaphysics. Yeah, we know a lot about metaphysics. Every person taking psychedelics has a theory about metaphysics, and is sure seen the light. So please, and where am I? I'm in San Francisco, California. Okay. So yeah, but this isn't that either, because their theories, whoever taking psychedelics, I have never heard of someone taking psychedelics and saying, everything I perceive there is meaningless, it's all bullshit, but I can learn from that about something about the substrate that is of the metaphysical substrate of the physical, of what is like the laws of nature and stuff like that. I haven't heard anyone doing that move, and when they did, it was always about stories about. It was talk about the semantics. They couldn't understand the semantics that are experiential, while the bodily, the physic, the mechanism isn't. Which is something. Okay, so what's unique about this theory? What makes it different from all the rest? So the first thing that's unique about this theory is that it separates experience from consciousness. This is important for the theory, but it's also important to understand anything else. Like, he can't go about talking about consciousness while while thinking about it as if it's the same as experience, ignoring the fact that there's something of the body that produces memories and identity, and your capabilities, also cognitive capabilities, all depend on, or produced by the body. So you need to account for it, and no one separated out the experiential and to said, okay, this is the thing. There's the physical, and then there's the experiential. They're always about consciousness, always making that mess. Okay, so that's one thing. The other thing that makes this theory special is the assumption that that we don't all exist in one world. This is no one, as far as I know, has made the claim that that each experiential agent exists in their own universe. We're always we're always assuming that there's one universe, and we have to make sense of the fact that we have different accounts. So that's simply categorically different from all the other theories out there, as far as I know. Another thing that sets this apart, this theory combines discussions about stuff like fundamental substrate of reality, and morality, and social dynamics, even biblical texts, and brings them down to the level that you can actually talk about them in terms of code. Like, there's the whole section in the book that is dealing with how to imitate the relation between experience and the brain, and in it reaches like this a level that no other discussions about these topics ever achieved or ever tried. I wouldn't say achieved, like it's not a big achievement, simply never tried. I think the reason they never did that is because they didn't do didn't make the other distinctions that I made before. Another thing that this theory does that not a lot of metaphysical theories do, and that it offers a way to confirm it, an experiment. It doesn't say exactly how to do that, like in the sense of there's research to be done, but it shows how it can be done. Okay. Which is something that is not common in metaphysical theories, common in physical theories, but not in metaphysical theories. What else? This theory also has implications about biology, medicine, psychiatry, things that actually can be made into to solve actual problems in the real world. This isn't just philosophy. Like, the issue is that this is all because no one has mentioned these ideas before. We're just in the beginning of this. Like, if we can say the word we, I am only in the beginning of this. That I don't have the means to investigate this further and bring up some useful applications yet. But I think that all the evidence that I can see in the media, in reports from scientists, they all show that this is actually very promising, beyond promising. It's probably going to happen. So all this stuff is so you can still like say, okay, who is this guy? I don't care. But this is the thing that makes this different from everything else that you probably are right to dismiss. Maybe you're right to dismiss this one too, but I'm not sure if you understand I just want to make sure that you understand what you're dismissing.